As dawn broke over the smoldering ruins of Olufunke, Prince Femi stood at a crossroads, torn between saving his father, King Tofa, and preserving the crumbling defenses of his kingdom. Amidst the chaos, a mysterious soldier unveiled a perilous plan to exploit a hidden weakness in Seye's forces, but its success would mean sacrificing the palace's last line of defense. As Femi weighed the cost of his choices, the haunting image of his father's bound figure and the desperate cries of his people echoed in his mind. With the kingdom on the brink and betrayal looming in the shadows, Femi faced a heart-wrenching decision that would determine the fate of Olufunke and his own legacy. Meanwhile, a surprising twist came in the form of an old ally, the mysterious soldier from the hidden chamber. He revealed a secret plan that could potentially turn the tide of the battle but required the full commitment of the palace's defenses, leaving no room for distraction. Femi's decision was further complicated when he learned that Seye's forces had a hidden weakness, a vulnerability that, if exploited, could lead to a decisive victory for Olufunke. This information came at a high cost, as it meant diverting resources from the palace's immediate defenses to a risky maneuver that might not guarantee success. Faced with a heart-wrenching choice, Femi had to weigh the lives of his people against the chance to save his father. If he chose to save King Tofa, the palace's defenses might crumble, leading to the kingdom's downfall. If he prioritized the kingdom's survival, he risked losing his father forever. In a moment of piercing clarity, Femi decided to trust Fatumita's strategy and the old soldier's plan. He ordered a calculated withdrawal of forces to execute the risky maneuver, aiming to exploit Seye's weakness. As the plan unfolded, Femi led a desperate and daring rescue mission to save his father, navigating through enemy lines with a mixture of fear and determination. The sun rose over the battered kingdom of Olufunke, casting an eerie glow over the remnants of what had once been a thriving center of power and prosperity. The siege was over, but the cost of victory was staggering. The Grand Palace lay in ruins, a grim testament to the ferocity of the battle that had raged within its walls. Smoldering remains and the silent testimony of fallen soldiers filled the air with an overwhelming sense of loss and despair. Prince Femi, now standing amidst the wreckage, felt the weight of the kingdom's grief pressing heavily upon him. The once vibrant city was now a shadow of its former self, its streets littered with debris and mourning citizens. The victory had come at an unbearable price, countless lives were lost, and the heart of Olufunke had been shattered. In the aftermath, Femi and Fatumita worked tirelessly to provide aid and comfort to their people. As they ventured through the devastated city, they discovered that the victory had not only come with a high human cost but also with unexpected consequences. Amidst the ruins, whispers of betrayal began to surface. Some of the very allies who had stood with Femi during the siege were now suspected of plotting against him. Their motives were unclear, but the growing suspicion threatened to undermine the fragile peace. The most shocking revelation came when Femi uncovered a hidden cache of documents within the palace ruins. The documents detailed a secret pact between Mr. Abraham and a faction of the kingdom's own nobles. This pact had promised power and wealth in exchange for turning against the royal family. The discovery revealed that the betrayal had been far deeper and more intricate than anyone had imagined. The tension in the palace grew as Femi, Fatumita, and King Tofa tried to restore order amidst the chaos. The fragile alliances they had formed during the siege began to fray as the true extent of the treachery emerged. The old rival factions, now reluctantly allied with the royal family, began to question their loyalties, fearing that they might have been manipulated into a fight that had left them with nothing but broken promises and shattered ambitions. Amidst this turmoil, Femi faced the daunting task of rebuilding not just the physical structures of the kingdom but also the trust and unity of its people. The emotional toll of the war weighed heavily on him, as he wrestled with feelings of betrayal and the heavy responsibility of leadership. Fatumita, who had proven to be a rock of strength, was deeply affected by the loss of her former allies and the enduring scars of her past. As the dust of battle settled over Olumo, the daunting task of rebuilding trust began. Prince Femi and Fatumeta threw themselves into the work of restoring order, but their efforts were met with skepticism and resistance from various factions. The kingdom was fractured, not only by the physical damage but also by the deep-seated distrust sown by the recent conflict. Many in the kingdom whispered in the shadows, their loyalty questioned and their support wavering. The challenges Femi and Fatumeta faced were not just administrative but deeply personal. Femi, still haunted by the losses and betrayals, struggled to unite a people who had been torn apart by conflict. He met with villagers and nobles alike, listening to their grievances and trying to reassure them. But every step forward seemed to come with 2 steps back. The deeper Femi delved into the kingdom's wounds, the more he uncovered hidden resentments and fears. Fatumeta, though a beacon of resilience, found herself confronting ghosts from her past. Her own history, marked by loss and betrayal, was a constant reminder of the kingdom's fractured trust. As she worked to heal the people's wounds, she encountered those who still blamed her for the kingdom's troubles. The task of proving her sincerity was as immense as rebuilding the physical structures of the palace and city. In a dramatic twist, Femi received an anonymous letter detailing a new conspiracy. The letter warned of a hidden faction plotting to undermine their efforts and take advantage of the kingdom's vulnerability. The writer claimed to be an insider, someone who knew the faction's plans but feared for their own life. The letter suggested that a powerful noble, someone trusted by many, was secretly orchestrating a new rebellion. Femi and Fatumeta were plunged back into a web of intrigue and deception. As they investigated the letter's claims, they discovered a network of spies and sympathizers embedded within the palace and the city's council. The conspiracy, they learned, extended far beyond what they had initially suspected. It was not just about seizing power but about undermining the fragile process of rebuilding that Femi and Fatumeta had worked so hard to establish. The tension reached a boiling point when a trusted advisor was revealed as a key player in the conspiracy. This betrayal struck at the heart of their efforts, forcing Femi to question everyone around him. The discovery led to a series of arrests and interrogations, adding to the kingdom's chaos. The pressure on Femi and Fatumeta mounted as they struggled to maintain control while navigating the treacherous waters of court politics and public dissent. Despite the turmoil, Femi and Fatumeta remained determined to move forward. Their resolve to rebuild was unwavering, and they began implementing measures to restore public confidence. They reached out to the kingdom's various factions, offering positions of influence and opportunities for collaboration in the rebuilding process. Slowly but surely, their genuine commitment to healing and transparency began to resonate with the people. The kingdom of Olumo began to emerge from the shadows of its past, with Prince Femi and Fatumeta leading the charge toward reconciliation. Yet, the undercurrents of distrust and hidden threats reminded them that their journey was far from over. The process of rebuilding trust was arduous and fraught with challenges, but Femi and Fatumeta remained steadfast, their spirits fortified by the hope of a united and prosperous future. As the kingdom of Olumo staggered through its painful recovery, an unexpected figure emerged from the shadows of the forest, the enigmatic healer. His return was shrouded in mystery, stirring a mix of relief and apprehension among the kingdom's inhabitants. Rumors spread quickly, each whisper heightening the anticipation and curiosity about what he might reveal. His appearance was not merely a gesture of goodwill, it was an enigmatic promise of deeper revelations. The healer arrived at the palace under the veil of dusk, his presence commanding instant respect and trepidation. Prince Femi and Fatumeta welcomed him with a blend of hope and skepticism, aware that the kingdom's wounds went beyond physical scars. The healer, with his piercing eyes and a countenance etched with ancient wisdom, requested an audience with the royal family and their closest advisors. In a private chamber, the healer began to speak in cryptic tones, his words weaving a tapestry of profound insights. He spoke of the suffering and conflict as manifestations of deeper spiritual imbalances within the kingdom. According to him, The land itself was scarred by the discord sown by the past betrayals and unrest. The turmoil was not only a result of the external battles but also a reflection of the kingdom's inner strife. A dramatic twist occurred when the healer revealed an ancient prophecy, one that spoke of a great cleansing required to restore balance. This prophecy hinted at a period of intense struggle and transformation that the kingdom would face, suggesting that the recent siege and betrayals were merely precursors to a larger, cosmic realignment. The healer's words implied that the kingdom's path to true healing would involve confronting not just the physical remnants of war but also deep-rooted spiritual and moral dilemmas. The healer then presented a mysterious artifact, a small, intricately carved stone that radiated an otherworldly energy. He claimed this artifact was a key to unlocking the spiritual barriers that had long afflicted the kingdom. According to his guidance, its use required a ceremonial ritual that would open the door to understanding and healing on a much deeper level. Femi and Fatumeta, though intrigued, were troubled by the complexity of the healer's demands. The healer's arrival and his cryptic messages stirred fears of further challenges and uncertainties. As they prepared for the ritual, tension mounted in the palace and beyond. Some nobles and advisors dismissed the healer's prophecies as mere superstition, fueling dissent and division among the ranks. Amidst this atmosphere of skepticism and hope, Femi found himself grappling with a newfound sense of responsibility. He understood that the kingdom's path forward required not only political and physical rebuilding but also a profound transformation of collective spirit and belief. The healer's return had sparked a new chapter in the kingdom's journey, a chapter fraught with spiritual challenges and the need for deeper introspection. As the kingdom of Olufunke grappled with the aftermath of the siege and the enigmatic healer's revelations, Prince Femi and Fatumeta embarked on a quest to uncover the buried secrets of their kingdom's past. Their journey led them to forgotten archives beneath the palace, where ancient scrolls and dusty tomes hinted at the origins of Olufunke's power and its deep-rooted mysteries. The search began in the Royal Library, a labyrinthine collection of manuscripts and artifacts, where Fatumeta, with her newfound clarity, took the lead. They discovered a hidden chamber, its entrance concealed behind a massive tapestry depicting the kingdom's founding legends. As they unlocked the door with a cryptic key found among the healer's belongings, they were greeted by a chamber filled with relics from a bygone era. Among the artifacts, Femi and Fatumeta unearthed an intricately carved stone tablet that told a different story than the one taught to the kingdom's children. This tablet revealed that Olufunke was not merely a kingdom built on conquest and power but was founded on a pact with ancient, mystical forces that granted it prosperity in exchange for a sacred duty, a duty long forgotten and neglected. As they translated the tablet's inscriptions, they learned of a hidden lineage of guardians, mystics who had once protected the kingdom's most potent secret, a source of immense energy and wisdom buried deep within the land. These guardians had mysteriously vanished centuries ago, their disappearance shrouded in legend and superstition. In their research, Femi and Fatumeta also stumbled upon a series of old letters and journals that hinted at a betrayal within the royal court, linking it to the current unrest. The letters spoke of a clandestine faction that sought to manipulate the kingdom's power for their gain, and their leader was rumored to have been a trusted advisor of the king. The journals contained cryptic references to a hidden chamber under the palace, said to house the source of Olufunke's power, a source that could either save or doom the kingdom depending on how it was wielded. A thrilling twist came when Femi discovered that one of the prominent nobles who had recently appeared to support the restoration efforts was actually a descendant of the traitorous faction. This noble had been subtly sowing discord and had plans to use the newfound secrets for personal gain. The revelation threw Femi and Fatumeta into a whirlwind of suspicion and urgency. Determined to protect their kingdom, Femi and Fatumeta decided to confront the noble, risking exposure of their own discoveries. They orchestrated a high-stakes meeting under the guise of discussing the kingdom's reconstruction. The tension in the room was palpable as they subtly probed for the noble's intentions while trying to avoid revealing their hand. As the meeting progressed, a shocking confrontation unfolded. The nobles' arrogance and evasive answers confirmed their suspicions. The confrontation escalated into a dangerous game of deception and strategy, forcing Femi and Fatumita to navigate a complex web of loyalty and betrayal. The air of tentative peace that had settled over Olumo was shattered one stormy night. As lightning cracked across the sky and thunder roared, an unsettling chill swept through the kingdom. Dark forces began to manifest in the outskirts of the capital, bringing with them a reign of terror. The once secure walls of Olumo seemed to tremble in anticipation of the new danger. Prince Femi and Fatumita were abruptly jolted from their respite when a series of ominous omens appeared, crops withering overnight, livestock vanishing without a trace, and eerie shadows flickering in the corners of the palace. The air grew heavy with an ancient and malevolent energy, and reports of strange creatures attacking the villages reached their ears. The kingdom's fragile stability was once again at risk. Their investigation led them to a ruined temple on the kingdom's edge, where they encountered an unsettling sight, arcane symbols and dark runes etched into the walls, glowing with a malevolent light. In the dim, flickering candlelight, Femi discovered a chilling message, scrawled in an ancient script: "The sorcerer shall rise to claim what was wrongfully taken." The revelation was both perplexing and alarming. Who was this sorcerer, and why had he chosen now to strike? To answer these questions, Femi and Fatumita sought out the healer once more, hoping his mystical insights could shed light on the new threat. The healer, however, seemed troubled and evasive, hinting at a prophecy he had long feared. As Femi and Fatumita pressed for more information, the healer reluctantly disclosed that the sorcerer was a former guardian of the kingdom's ancient power, a once revered protector who had been corrupted and exiled for his dark practices. This sorcerer had waited in the shadows for the right moment to exact his revenge, seeking to reclaim the power he believed was rightfully his. Just as the healer's story began to make sense, an urgent message arrived: the sorcerer had launched a full-scale assault on a key supply line, sabotaging the kingdom's resources. The assault was brutal, leaving devastation in its wake and deepening the kingdom's crisis. The attack was a calculated move to weaken Olumo before launching a more substantial invasion. In a shocking twist, Femi and Fatumita discovered that the sorcerer had also infiltrated the palace, using dark magic to corrupt trusted advisors and sow discord. These advisors began to undermine Femi's authority, stirring unrest among the people and creating confusion about the true nature of the threat. Desperate to regain control, Femi and Fatumita mobilized their forces, but their efforts were met with escalating sabotage and treachery. The sorcerer's influence seemed to reach every corner of the kingdom, amplifying fear and paranoia. Trust within the palace was fractured, and the enemy's intentions remained shrouded in mystery. As the chapter drew to a close, Femi and Fatumita faced a dire predicament. They had to unravel the sorcerer's plan while contending with internal strife and the kingdom's unraveling stability. The revelation of the sorcerer's identity and motives left them in a race against time, with the very essence of Olumo's future hanging in the balance. The kingdom of Olumo was plunged into a state of panic as the sorcerer's dark magic ravaged the land. The skies, once a vibrant blue, now roiled with ominous storm clouds. Dark, unnatural creatures roamed the villages, causing devastation and spreading terror. The air was thick with an unsettling energy, and even the most stalwart of Olumo's defenders were beginning to falter. Prince Femi and Fatumita, now faced with the grim reality of the sorcerer's power, knew that they needed more than just military might to counter the supernatural threat. They embarked on a perilous quest to uncover the sorcerer's weaknesses. Their journey led them through abandoned libraries and ancient temples, each step uncovering more about the sorcerer's enigmatic past and his arcane practices. Their first clue came from a dusty tome hidden in the ruins of an old library, a book that spoke of ancient artifacts with the power to neutralize curses. The book described 3 legendary items: the Mirror of True Sight, the Chalice of Purity, and the Blade of the Ancients. Each artifact was said to hold the key to countering dark magic, but locating them required solving complex riddles and navigating treacherous trials. Their search for the mirror of true sight took them deep into a cavernous system beneath the kingdom, where shadows seemed to twist and whisper secrets. In the dim light of their torches, Femi and Fatumita encountered eerie, spectral apparitions, guardian spirits bound to protect the mirror. The spirits, with their haunting wails, tested their resolve and forced them to confront their deepest fears and regrets. Femi faced visions of his failures and lost loved ones, while Fatumita relieved the anguish of her forced separation from Femi. Only by overcoming these fears could they claim the mirror. The chalice of purity was hidden in a secluded, enchanted forest, guarded by a tribe of mystical beings who demanded a sacrifice of the heart, a selfless act that revealed the true nature of one's spirit. Here, Fatumita's compassion was put to the test as she risked her life to save a wounded creature, gaining the tribe's trust and securing the chalice. Finally, the blade of the ancients was said to be locked within a cursed vault, accessible only through a series of complex magical puzzles. The vault, buried beneath the palace, was a labyrinth of traps and illusions. As they navigated the maze, Femi and Fatumita uncovered disturbing truths about the sorcerer's origins. He had once been a protector, twisted by betrayal and a thirst for vengeance. With each artifact they retrieved, the power of the sorcerer's curse waned slightly, but their journey was far from over. The sorcerer, aware of their quest, began to escalate his attacks, launching a series of dark enchantments that destabilized the kingdom even further. Femi and Fatumita were forced into a final confrontation with the sorcerer's minions, battling through waves of supernatural foes as they prepared for the ultimate showdown. In a climactic twist, the sorcerer revealed his final, devastating spell, a curse that threatened to engulf the entire kingdom in darkness. Just as the spell began to take hold, Femi and Fatumita unleashed the power of the artifacts, combining their strengths and overcoming the sorcerer's defenses in a dramatic, high-stakes battle. As the dust settled and the sorcerer's influence began to wane, Femi and Fatumita emerged victorious but exhausted. The artifacts had neutralized the sorcerer's curse, but the kingdom was left to heal from the scars of the conflict. As twilight cast long shadows over the desolate kingdom of Olumo, the air crackled with an eerie tension. The sorcerer's dark magic had pushed the kingdom to its breaking point. With the final artifacts, the mirror of true sight, the chalice of purity, and the blade of the ancients, in hand, Prince Femi and Fatumita made their way to the heart of the sorcerer's lair, a foreboding fortress encased in swirling mist of dark energy. The fortress, a twisted edifice of blackened stone and scorched earth, was a labyrinth of darkness. As Femi and Fatumita ventured deeper, the fortress itself seemed to come alive, with walls that shifted and whispered threats. Each step forward brought new dangers, pits of shadowy abysses, walls that dripped with a viscous, dark substance, and spectral apparitions that clawed at their sanity. When they finally reached the central chamber, the sorcerer awaited them, his figure a dark silhouette against a pulsating red vortex. His eyes glowed with malevolent power, and his presence exuded an aura of despair. The chamber was a maelstrom of dark magic, with swirling tendrils of energy that lashed out like serpents. Femi and Fatumita took their positions, the mirror of true sight in hand. As they activated it, the mirror's light pierced the gloom, revealing hidden runes and arcane symbols that had been cloaking the sorcerer's true form. The sorcerer, realizing his cover was blown, unleashed a barrage of dark energy that collided with the mirror's light, creating a blinding explosion. In the chaos, Femi and Fatumita were separated. Femi faced a series of nightmarish illusions conjured by the sorcerer, each one exploiting his deepest fears, visions of his father's failure, his mother's agony, and the kingdom's destruction. Struggling to maintain his grip on reality, Femi fought through these illusions, using the blade of the ancients to cut through the sorcerer's malevolent constructs. Meanwhile, Fatumita was trapped in a shimmering cage of dark energy, her movements restricted by the sorcerer's powerful spells. She called upon the chalice of purity, using its cleansing power to dispel the dark magic that bound her. As the cage dissolved, she joined Femi in a desperate, coordinated attack against the sorcerer. In a dramatic twist, the sorcerer revealed that he was not only seeking revenge but was bound by a curse of his own making, a curse that tied his life force to the kingdom's suffering. The more pain he inflicted, the more he fed the curse, perpetuating his own torment. As the battle reached its climax, Femi and Fatumita combined their artifacts' powers in a final, audacious move. Femi used the mirror of true sight to reflect the sorcerer's dark magic back upon him, while Fatumita wielded the chalice of purity to cleanse the reflected magic. The blade of the ancient struck true, severing the sorcerer's connection to his dark powers. In a final, desperate act, the sorcerer implored for mercy, revealing a hidden truth: he had once been a guardian of Olumo, corrupted by a betrayal he could never escape. His plea for redemption was met with a somber silence as Femi and Fatumita delivered the final blow, ending the sorcerer's reign of terror. The fortress crumbled around them, and as they emerged into the dawn's light, the kingdom lay in ruin but free from the sorcerer's dark influence. The victory was hard won, with the kingdom's fate forever altered. Femi and Fatumita, battered but unbroken, stood together amid the wreckage, their bond stronger than ever as they prepared to lead Olumo into a new era of healing and renewal. The first light of dawn cast a soft glow over the battered kingdom of Olumo, revealing the full extent of the damage left by the sorcerer's siege. In the quiet aftermath of victory, the landscape was strewn with remnants of the fierce battle, crumbling walls, scorched earth, and the remnants of dark magic that lingered like a heavy fog. As the sun rose, Prince Femi and Fatumita stood on the steps of the once grand palace, now a symbol of both ruin and renewal. The destruction around them was profound, but it was also an opportunity, a canvas for a new beginning. They had weathered unimaginable trials and had emerged not only as survivors but as symbols of hope and resilience. The rebuilding began with a sense of urgency and unity. Citizens from all corners of Olumo, including those who had once been distrustful of Femi and Fatumita, rallied together to restore their homeland. The city's streets, once a battleground, now echoed with the sounds of reconstruction, hammering, laughter, and the chatter of hopeful voices. Yet, beneath the surface of this hopeful resurgence lay hidden tensions. A secret faction, previously thought to be defeated, emerged from the shadows, claiming to have evidence of corruption within the royal court. This faction sought to undermine Femi's authority by revealing old grievances and stirring dissent among the people. As rumors swirled, the kingdom faced a new challenge: to prove that the peace they had fought so hard to achieve was genuine and enduring. Femi and Fatumita, having navigated the treacherous waters of political intrigue and dark magic, now had to confront this new threat with the same determination. They embarked on a series of town hall meetings and public forums, engaging directly with their people. The transparent dialogue helped to dispel many of the rumors and fostered a sense of shared purpose. In a surprising twist, the leader of the faction was revealed to be an old ally who had once saved Femi's life. The revelation shook the kingdom, forcing Femi to grapple with feelings of betrayal and empathy. The former ally's motives were rooted in a deep-seated desire to protect the kingdom from what he perceived as an imagined threat from within. This personal betrayal added a layer of complexity to Femi's leadership, challenging him to reconcile his personal heart with his duty to his people. Despite these challenges, the kingdom of Olumo began to flourish once more. Femi's and Fatumita's leadership forged a new era of prosperity, marked by advancements in agriculture, trade, and cultural development. The lessons learned from their harrowing experiences were woven into the fabric of the kingdom's new policies, emphasizing transparency, justice, and the importance of family. The story of Prince Femi and Fatumita became a legend passed down through generations, a tale of courage and forgiveness that inspired countless others. The kingdom's resilience was a testament to the power of unity and the enduring strength of the human spirit. As Olumo flourished, the legends of Femi and Fatumita served as a beacon of hope, teaching future generations about the importance of facing adversity with bravery, the value of forgiveness, and the unbreakable bonds of family. The kingdom had emerged from its darkest hour into a new dawn, stronger and more united than ever before.